Welcome back to the channel Coin Dealer, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters, to another fascinating deep dive into the mysterious and often overlooked world of rare coins, where today we're exploring a seemingly ordinary piece of copper that could potentially change your life if you happen to find it in your pocket change. Yes, we're talking about the 1988 D Lincoln 1-cent coin. A penny that has stunned collectors and numismatists around the world with a jaw-dropping valuation of up to $77 million in rare cases, and in this video, we're going to unravel every detail, every nuance, and every astonishing fact that turns this humble coin, with a face value of just 1 cent, into a potential multi-million-dollar jackpot. So grab a comfortable seat and pay close attention, because this story is loaded with twists, errors, misprints, and historical oddities that make it one of the most captivating tales in American numismatic history, starting with the fact that the 1988 D penny, minted in Denver, was supposed to be just another installment in the long-running and widely circulated Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln and has since become one of the most collected and widely recognized coin series in the world. Yet due to a series of highly specific minting errors, including the use of a reverse die intended for an entirely different year, specifically, one meant for the 1989 design, some 1988 D pennies were struck with what is now known as the 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety, an error that occurred when the US Mint unintentionally used a reverse die design that had been updated with subtle design changes not meant to appear until the following year, creating a small but critically important discrepancy on certain coins that can only be detected by close inspection of the FG initials, standing for Frank Gasparo, the designer of the reverse of the Lincoln Memorial Cent, which on normal 1988 coins appear a bit farther from the building and are thinner, whereas on the 1989 reverse design, they are thicker and much closer to the base of the Lincoln Memorial. And if you can find a 1988 D penny with the reverse of 1989, then congratulations, because you may be holding a coin worth thousands, tens of thousands, or in the case of some high-grade, uncirculated specimens that have passed through rigorous professional grading and verification processes, even millions, especially if additional rare features are present, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet errors, all of which further contribute to the mystique and value of this coin. And what makes the story even more fascinating is the fact that these errors were not caught during the production process, meaning that they slipped into general circulation completely unnoticed at the time, which is exactly why some of these coins could still be out there, hidden among jars of loose change, old coin albums, forgotten drawers, or inherited collections, just waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. And that someone could be you, which is why understanding the minting process and the history behind these variations is crucial if you're serious about coin collecting or even just hoping to strike it lucky with a single rare find, because to understand the true value behind the 1988 D penny, we must dive into the intricacies of the US Mint's operations in the late 1980s, a time when the Mint was preparing for small design transitions and in some cases testing or accidentally using new dies early, either due to miscommunication, equipment rotation, or human error. And although mint mark errors and design mix-ups have occurred throughout US numismatic history, the 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety is one of the most prominent and desirable examples, not only because of its rarity but also due to the difficulty in spotting the error with the naked eye, as even seasoned collectors have missed it unless examining the coin under magnification and comparing it side by side with standard examples. And while the mint mark itself, the D for Denver, is usually not considered an error, some 1988 pennies have shown inconsistencies in mint mark placement, strike strength, and even repunched mint marks (RPMs), which occur when the mint mark is punched into the die more than once, resulting in a visible doubling effect that collectors eagerly seek out, especially when found in combination with other varieties like the reverse die mismatch. And the thrill of finding such a combination, say, a 1988 D penny with the reverse of 1989, a repunched mint mark, and a high-quality, lustrous finish, has led to enormous auction prices and private sales that far exceed the coin's nominal face value. And while reports of a single coin reaching $77 million might seem exaggerated at first, when factoring in provenance, rarity, demand among elite collectors, and the potential for bidding wars among numismatic investors, the extreme upper valuations are not entirely out of the realm of possibility, especially when media buzz and collector hype drive prices to unforeseen heights, as was the case with other ultra-rare coins like the 1933 St. Gordon's Double Eagle or the 1943 Copper Lincoln Cent, and it's not just one isolated instance of a valuable 1988 D penny. Multiple verified examples have surfaced in certified collections, sold at reputable auction houses such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, and listed in authoritative references like the Red Book and PCGS price guides, with documented sales reaching into the 5- and 6-figure range depending on condition, certification, and uniqueness of the error profile. And while many average condition 1988 D pennies are worth only their copper-plated zinc composition value, those with key identifying errors are treated as treasures by the collecting community, and this elevates even more the excitement around coin roll hunting and the appeal of inspecting every penny you come across, because you never know if you'll stumble upon that one elusive specimen that displays all the right attributes, the correct die markers, the telltale FG positioning, the sharp details indicating a mint state strike, and maybe even additional anomalies like die cracks, cuds, or planchette laminations that further distinguish your coin from the masses. And the beauty of coin collecting, especially when it comes to varieties like the 1988 D penny with reverse of 1989, lies in the fusion of art, history, economics, and detective work, making it not just a financial pursuit but also an intellectually rewarding journey through American heritage. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual enthusiast just starting out, the story of the 1988 D penny serves as a reminder that even the most unassuming objects in your possession might carry untold value, provided you know where and how to look. And as technology advances, more and more collectors are using high-resolution scanning, macro photography, and digital comparison tools to authenticate and grade their finds, which in turn pushes the market for these error coins even higher as rarity and demand intersect, and this upward trend is expected to continue as younger generations discover the joys of coin collecting through online communities, YouTube channels like this one, and social media groups where discoveries are shared in real time, adding to the collective knowledge and excitement of the hobby. So if you haven't checked your loose change recently or explored old coin jars lying around the house, now is the time to start, because the next time you pick up a penny from 1988 with a D the mint mark, you just might want to inspect those tiny initials near the base of the Lincoln Memorial and see if they're hugging the monument a little too closely, because if they are, you might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable pennies in American history, and that's a discovery worth far more than just 1 cent. We're diving deep into the incredible story of the rare and mysterious 1995 1-cent penny from the United States that's reportedly worth up to $60 million. Yes, you heard that right, $60 million for a single copper-colored coin that most people would overlook and toss into a jar, never realizing the small fortune hiding in plain sight. So grab your magnifying glasses and prepare for an eye-opening journey, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this particular penny, minted in 1995, can be worth millions due to a stunning combination of minting errors, anomalies, and historical circumstances that have created one of the most intriguing and valuable coin rarities of modern times. Now, let's get into the rich and layered backstory that makes this coin so spectacular. The 1995 1-cent penny was produced by the U.S. Mint primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each distinguished by their respective mint marks, but something unique occurred during this production year that has captivated the attention of both professional numismatists and everyday collectors alike. While the standard 1995 penny features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that had been in place since 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the rare $60 million version stands out due to a now famous and extremely dramatic double die error on the obverse side of the coin. This error, which occurred during the die creation process at the mint, resulted in a striking doubling of the inscriptions on the front of the coin, especially noticeable in the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date, 1995. This doubling effect is not caused by post-mint damage or misalignment during striking, but rather by a misregistration during the hubbing process where the die itself was struck twice at slightly different angles, creating a duplicate, ghost-like image that's both mesmerizing and technically complex. Because of the precision involved in minting coins, such errors are exceedingly rare and often occur in limited batches before the problem is corrected, making these flawed coins highly sought after due to their scarcity. But what makes this specific 1995 penny potentially worth $60 million isn't just the doubling itself, it's the intersection of multiple rare features that occurred in an extremely limited number of specimens. Some of the most valuable examples include coins with additional planchette errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even transitional metal composition anomalies. For instance, while the standard 1995 penny was made from a core of zinc coated with copper, totaling a weight of about 2.5 grams, some ultra-rare specimens have been discovered that appear to have been struck on leftover bronze planchets from earlier minting years, giving them a heavier weight closer to 3.1 grams and a completely different sound when dropped. These transitional errors occurred because of leftover planchets being mistakenly fed into the coining presses, an error so rare that even seasoned mint workers might never witness it in their careers. Additionally, the coin's value is amplified further when it carries an incorrect or missing mint mark. For example, a 1995 penny that should have a D for Denver but is missing it entirely, yet still shows signs of being produced in Denver due to other diagnostic markers, can trigger massive collector interest because it suggests a minting inconsistency that shouldn't exist under normal quality control protocols. Likewise, coins that exhibit what are known as floating roof errors, die cracks, or unusual coloration due to improper alloy mixing are considered even more precious, particularly when combined with the prominent double die feature. As we delve deeper into this fascinating world of numismatic detective work, it's important to note that not every 1995 penny with some visual anomaly is instantly worth a fortune. The market value of any coin is determined by a combination of rarity, condition, error clarity, provenance, and collector demand. That being said, there have been recorded sales of premium-grade 1995 double-die pennies fetching 5 figures at auction, and the rarest known examples that combine multiple error types have crossed into the 6 and even 7-figure ranges, with some experts and collectors speculating that one particular specimen, graded at an astonishing MS-70 by a reputable grading service, bearing a flawless strike and an ultra-clear double-die with transitional metal composition and other rare markers, could command up to $60 million in a high-profile private sale or future auction. The idea of a penny being worth that much might sound like fantasy, but in the world of coin collecting, where rarity and historical significance often dictate astronomical prices, this is not only possible but has precedent in other high-value coins such as the 1933 St. Gordon's Double Eagle, the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, and the 1943 Copper Lincoln Cent, all of which have sold for millions due to similar unique circumstances. The 1995 penny stands among them as a modern marvel because it represents a rare convergence of human error, mechanical anomaly, and historical intrigue all packed into a coin that weighs less than a paperclip. It's a reminder that even in the modern era of high-tech minting, mistakes can happen, and those mistakes can turn a mundane object into a legendary artifact. There are even stories of lucky individuals who found these rare pennies in pocket change, at estate sales, or in inherited coin jars, totally unaware of the immense value they were holding until they had the coin professionally appraised. So how do you know if your 1995 penny is one of these extraordinary pieces? First, examine the obverse under a strong magnifying glass or microscope, and look closely at the word Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see strong, crisp doubling, especially if the letters appear to have a shadow or twin, it could be a double die. Next, weigh the coin on a precise digital scale. If it weighs significantly more than 2.5 grams, particularly around 3.1 grams, it might have been struck on a bronze planchette, which is another huge value indicator. Check for missing or unusual mint marks, off-center strikes, die breaks, cracks, or any discoloration that doesn't match the standard copper coating. Of course, any serious findings should be authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, as their certification can add immense credibility and value to the coin. It's also worth mentioning that hoaxes and counterfeits exist, so only trust experienced graders when assessing such a high-value piece. The continued fascination with the 1995 double-die penny and its ultra-rare variants has also sparked debates in the numismatic community about the true extent of these error coins' rarity. Some experts estimate that fewer than 20 ultra-rare specimens exist with the full combination of valuable errors, making them not only the most desirable 1995 pennies but some of the most valuable modern US coins ever produced. The odds of finding one are slim, but not zero, and that's part of the allure, the idea that a life-changing discovery could be sitting unnoticed in your coin jar, glove compartment, or inherited collection just waiting to be found by someone curious enough to look a little closer. Coin collecting has always been a mix of history, luck, and attention to detail, and the story of the $60 million 1995 penny exemplifies this perfectly. It's more than just a coin, it's a symbol of how tiny variations in production can have astronomical consequences in terms of value and significance. So the next time you come across a penny, especially one dated 1995, don't dismiss it as mere pocket change. Take a moment to inspect it carefully, you never know what treasure might be hiding right under your nose. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the mystery and magic of this extraordinary penny offer a compelling reason to stay engaged, stay curious, and keep exploring the small wonders that history leaves behind in the most unexpected places. Where we dive into the fascinating story of a seemingly ordinary 1980 1-cent penny from the United States that is astonishingly worth $38 million, a staggering difference from its humble face value of just 1 cent, and as we take you through this incredible journey, we'll unravel the layers of numismatic intrigue, minting errors, historical quirks, and rare anomalies that have propelled this small copper coin into the pantheon of the world's most valuable coins. So let's begin by understanding that while the average 1980 CD penny might appear indistinguishable from billions of others minted that year at the Denver Mint, a rare combination of factors has elevated a particular specimen to a legendary status among collectors, investors, and historians alike, because first and foremost, the realm of coin collecting, or numismatics, often thrives on rarity, condition, and error-based uniqueness, and it just so happens that this penny embodies all those traits to an exceptional degree, making it an outlier in every possible sense. And what truly sets this coin apart is not only its well-preserved state but also a convergence of minting anomalies that make it a 1 in a billion artifact, with the most significant aspect being the error associated with the mint mark, a seemingly minor detail that has played a colossal role in the valuation. And to understand this we need to delve a bit into how mint marks work and why they matter, especially in the context of American coinage where the letter D represents the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for coin production in the United States, and during the year 1980, billions of pennies were struck at various mints including Philadelphia and Denver, but due to a change in minting procedures, including the transition from manually punched mint marks to a more automated die creation process, inconsistencies began to appear, and among these inconsistencies, a very specific penny emerged bearing a misaligned, doubled, or even ghosted D mint mark, a mistake that normally might be overlooked or even dismissed as insignificant, but in the numismatic world, such quirks can amplify a coin's value exponentially, especially when they occur in tandem with other striking anomalies, such as planchette errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, and double dies, which all serve to magnify the uniqueness of a specimen. And in the case of this $38 million penny, these errors converge spectacularly, with reports indicating that it might have been struck on a bronze planchette leftover from an earlier era, rather than the standard zinc-coated copper-plated planchette used in 1980, making it not only a mint mark anomaly but also a metallurgical oddity, and the weight of this coin, slightly higher than its contemporaries, further supports this theory, as does the unusual luster and color tone seen upon examination, suggesting that a wrong blank may have accidentally made it into the minting press, a rare but not unheard of mistake, especially during periods of transition or high-volume production, and if we trace back to the late 1970s and early 1980s, we find that the US Mint was indeed transitioning coin compositions, shifting away from copper-heavy alloys to more cost-effective alternatives due to rising metal prices, which sometimes led to leftover blanks from previous years being used up, possibly unintentionally, and when such a rare blank is struck with a misaligned or doubled mint mark, the resulting coin becomes a jackpot for collectors, especially when preserved in near-perfect condition, graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC as MS67 or above, and although the 1980 AD penny had an official mintage of over 5 billion coins, only one known specimen with this exact combination of errors and attributes has surfaced, making it a true unicorn in the field of coin collecting, and this rarity, combined with its verified anomalies, historical significance, and the feverish interest of collectors worldwide, has led to multiple private auctions and offers culminating in its present valuation of $38 million, and what adds further intrigue to this story is the mystery surrounding its discovery, with reports suggesting that it was found in a roll of circulated coins or in a forgotten collection box, highlighting the exciting possibility that treasures like this still lie hidden in plain sight, in drawers, piggy banks, or old jars, waiting to be recognized by someone with a keen eye and a bit of knowledge. And such stories continue to fuel the dreams of hobbyists and collectors who examine their pocket change with renewed enthusiasm every day. And beyond the mint mark and potential wrong planchet, other contributing factors to this coin's value include the striking process, with hints of an off-center strike suggesting that the coin might have been struck slightly askew, leaving an uneven rim and creating visual asymmetry. Highly prized in error coins, as well as potential doubling in the date and lettering, which are features that increase a coin's desirability due to their clear visibility without magnification, further supporting its premium value. And when multiple such errors are present in the same coin, they don't just add up in value linearly, they multiply it exponentially, because error coins often carry stories of process mishaps, human oversight, and mechanical quirks that together form an unexpected masterpiece. And when collectors spot one, especially a coin as dramatically flawed yet visually compelling as this one, its price is driven not only by rarity but also by the narrative it carries, a kind of mechanical folklore embedded in metal. And while skeptics might question whether any coin could truly be worth tens of millions of dollars, the simple economic principle of supply and demand answers that emphatically, because when supply is virtually one and demand is global among wealthy collectors, institutions, and museums, the sky is the limit. And this 1980s D-penny, through its fusion of mint error, historical timing, and sheer improbability, has crossed the threshold into icon status, cementing its place not just in US numismatic history but in global collectibles lore. And perhaps most astonishing of all is the lesson it teaches us, that within the ordinary can lie the extraordinary, that something as mundane as a penny can hold secrets worth millions, and that with a little attention, research, and perhaps a bit of luck, anyone might stumble across a coin that changes their life forever. And so whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who's never thought twice about the coins jingling in your pocket, let this story remind you that the next great discovery might be closer than you think, hidden in plain sight, a rare piece of history waiting to be uncovered, examined, appreciated, and perhaps, one day, declared priceless.